Hi everybody, my name is Eric Dowdite and I am our NewCal Metals Regional Sales Manager. We manufacture sheet metal products, one of the most valuable products in terms of home hardening that we manufacture is our Vulcan vent. So the Vulcan vent is a vent to protect from wildfires. So it replaces all the exterior vents in a home to protect from embers and, as a last line of defense, flame penetration as well. So this would replace all the vents in the home going into your attic, going into your crawl space for your passive airflow areas. So the very first line of defense is just a simple pest abatement. We use an 1/8" screen to protect from pests getting in. On the back side is a 1/16" screen, which will protect from the embers getting through. So any ember that can get through a 1/16" mesh doesn't have enough radiant energy or the ability to accumulate and ignite a fire in the attic or in the crawl space, be it through your insulation or all the other combustible materials that you might have in those areas. So first line of defense is pest abatement, second is going to be protecting from embers, and then as a last line of defense, if a firewall actually approaches the home, this vent will swell shut, seal off, and create a 1-hour firewall. So this is the only vent with an accredited listing for 1 hour. The ICC actually lists us for a 1-hour rating. So it can go alongside your other building materials that Hardie produces, or stucco or wood, treated wood materials, to go along with those as part of a system to protect your home from fire. We make all of our vents, whether that be in a foundation vent, we make gable vents, we make dormer vents, continuous soffit vents, ridge vents, just about any vent that you can think of for your home. For those passive airflow areas, we make that type of vent. Our vents come standard and galvanized, but they're also available in custom finishes. So things like copper, we also make them in stainless steel, and bonderized so that they're ready to paint. Our vents are fully paintable. All you have to do is make sure that you don't overspray to clog them. Only thing that you can do is impact the ventilation properties. On top of that, Vulcan vent boasts the highest airflow in the ventilation market for this extra protection type of vent. So whereas you're getting flame and ember resistance, the very first thing that you put a vent in your home for is ventilation. So you don't want to impact that. And our vent is very, very similar to the standard vents that you see on the market, while also offering all the extra protection that the Vulcan vent does offer.
This is what it would look like at the face of your house in the front yard as a fire actually approached. So it's approaching your home, hitting your soffit. On the right hand side here we have a Vulcan vent. On the left hand side we have a standard vent. So as that fire approaches, the radiant energy and radiant heat of that fire will make the intumescent core swell on our vent, creating a 1-hour firewall with an insulative barrier that drops the temperature from the face of the vent to the back of the vent by 1800 degrees. So this is the vent we used yesterday in San Luis Obispo. And as that fire approaches, this vent swells shut, seals off, creates a 1-hour firewall, not allowing any flame penetration through your ventilation. So back here we have OSB sheeting behind two vents. Once again, standard vent is on the right side from this side. The Vulcan vent is on the left-hand side. So as you see, you have flame roaring through the standard vent on that side, whereas the Vulcan vent has closed, sealed off, not allowing any fire to get through it. That insulative barrier does create that large temperature drop. So what we can actually do is, as we turn this trailer off and turn the fire off, he can actually get up, grab the wood from behind that vent with his bare hands. So what this is going to do is not allow any combustion behind your vent. So as we're protecting the ventilation from straight flame getting through, it's also not going to allow anything behind it to combust. So he can grab that out with his bare hands, and anybody can touch it. It's cool to the touch, just like as if it was sitting out in the sun.
With the Vulcan vent, there is a need for a fire-rated caulking. So during that high of heat, metal might warp during that. So as flame is actually sitting on the side of the house, that high of heat might make metal warp. We also offer an Everchem 814 caulking, which is going to go behind the flange and expand. Just like the middle of our vent, this caulking will expand. So if that metal warps, the caulking will expand and seal off any draft openings, not allowing a new opening into the building envelope to be created by that metal. In addition, With our round eave plugs, we use a mortar-based Everchem caulking. So this would be our mortar-based Everchem 136 used for our Vulcan eave round. So the little round bird hole vents that go up in your freeze block, you use the 136 caulking. It's going to harden around that vent and hold that vent in during a fire or any other thing. It's not a vent that you're using a fastener with, so you wouldn't want to use an expanding caulking. This one's going to be mortar-based and hold that in. This is just a sample of the middle of our vent. So this is the part that expands. So it's an aluminum matrix with an intumescent coating. So once again, as that firewall approaches, this coating expands, seals off all of these little openings in this honeycomb, creates that insulative barrier that creates the 1 hour firewall. There's also an 1800 degree temperature drop from the face of our vent to the backside. So you don't get any combustion behind the vent, which is important as well. If you heat a piece of metal up and you have stuff behind it that's flammable, you don't want that metal to make that other stuff combust. That's our first product line. We've been making that product since 2008, in stock at Hayward Lumber stores all over the state. Secondly, we have come up with a secondary product. So in California right now, insurance has become a big issue. Homeowners are losing insurance all over the place. They're having to go to California Fair Plan. If they're going to keep their insurance companies mandate certain things. So whereas Vulcan has been around, been doing its thing, and definitely the top tier ventilation on the market, whether that be for a retrofit application or for a new build application. As homeowners deal with the insurance place and maybe come into a little bit of a budgetary issue in dealing with that, or just want something a little bit different, we have created Firestorm Ember Mesh as a secondary retrofit product. So this is a powder coated stainless steel mesh, once again a 1/16 aperture. That is what we have found to protect from ember intrusion. That is sold in rolls of mesh or in ventilation. The rolls come 50 feet long, 7.5 inches wide, 36 inches wide, or 48 inches wide. It's a great product to use as a retrofit or as a deck skirt, or to wrap the fence that lines your property, maybe up to a mountain side or a canyon where fires could be very dangerous. So this would go either behind your vents, over your vents, on the ridge of your roof, in the valley of your roof, once again as a deck skirt or on a fence line, and it's just going to do the protection from the embers. So whereas Vulcan's offering you flame and ember, Firestorm's only going to offer the ember protection, but at a lower cost. So it's giving people a couple different options. Once again, Vulcan, top tier ventilation on the market. This is really a secondary option, offering people that ember protection. Maybe you live in more of an inner city where big fires aren't as important, but you want to protect from the embers that come off those big fires 5 miles ahead of the fire, and protect your home from that so that it doesn't start in that area that you live in. So also an important part of that, and just like I said, just a secondary option for people. With the Firestorm line, we also offer a gutter guard. So insurance companies right now, as I said, they're becoming like a new governing body almost, whereas building code has been doing its job with governing. Now you have insurance companies offering a governing body. So Firestorm is really geared towards those insurance institutes to try to get them off of homeowners' back, maybe keep their insurance, or if they have to go to California Fair Plan, there's discounts that can be offered as well with these types of things. Whether you use Vulcan or Firestorm Ember Mesh, that's the stuff that they're looking for. They're also looking for a gutter guard. So with Firestorm, we also offer a gutter guard line as well. So gutter guards, clearing out a 0 to 5 zone, so nothing combustible within 5 feet of your home, and ember resistant screens is the insurance mandate. So Firestorm really helps meet that. Vulcan will do a great job meeting that too, and all of our products are really geared towards that. Also, both of our websites, whether that be for Firestorm Ember Mesh or Vulcan Vents, if you go to those websites, you can go there and find spec sheets to be able to turn into your plan check departments. You can find all of our net-free ventilation area, all of our different flange styles that go with each different type of building material people might be building with, and different sizes of vents. So if you go to our website, you can see how Vulcan works. You could pull spec sheets for your plan check people or for yourself. and get all the information that you might need. Frequently asked questions, our code listings for compliance issues, either whether it be our California building material list through CAL FIRE, our ICC listings, or other listings that we might offer. We do also offer all custom shapes, all custom sizes that you might need. Being a full sheet metal shop, we're able to manufacture anything. We do sell our vents through distribution, so they are offered at all of these Hayward Lumber locations and have been for many years. So if you need the product, go down to your local Hayward Lumber. They can get you taken care of.